Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be in the Dungeon World book for this video. This is a continuation of the character creation videos for Dungeon World. I believe the last one was Bard, so the next one is going to be Cleric. So let's turn to page 89 and create a first level Cleric for this game. Let me get a little note card here to make my character on. I'd use either a note card or a piece of paper. This game seems simple enough that a note card would work, but there's nothing wrong with using a piece of paper or using a little bit of online searching and finding a character sheet to print out. So let's read a little bit about the beginning of the Cleric here. There's a couple of paragraphs. The lands of Dungeon World are a god's forsaken mess. They're lousy with the walking dead, beasts of all sorts, and the vast unnatural space between safe and temple-blessed civilizations. It is a godless world out there. That's why it needs you. Bringing the glory of your God to the heathens isn't just in your nature, it's your calling. It falls to you to proselytize with sword and mace and spell, to cleave deep into the witless heart of the wilds and plant the seed of divinity there. Some say that it is best to keep God close to your heart. You know that's rubbish. God lives at the edge of a blade. Show the world who is Lord. And the races they give is Dwarven and Human for Cleric. So for this one, I'll be a Dwarf. Just because. If you didn't want to pick, you could roll randomly. Roll a d6, even your one, odd you're the other race. And then I like the name listed Bjorn for him, so we'll go with that. Like an Old Norse name. You choose from each of these looks. I would pick the stats from the beginning of the book, the pre-made stats for this character. After it told me what the important stat was for the class. But building the character, my looks, kind eyes, sharp eyes, or sad eyes. Let's roll a random dice for that. Sad eyes. Now it's talking about the hair. And tonsure. Not sure about that one, but I'll write it down. That would definitely be something I would have to look up. Then how am I dressed? Flowing robes. And then what's my body type? Thin body. Thin body, knobby body, and flabby body were the choices. Out of the clothing, it was flowing robes, habit, or common garb. And then out of the hair was tonsure, strange hair, or bald. I get 8 plus my constitution and hit points. And my base damage is d6. Okay. And that's everything on the first page of Cleric, so let's start looking through. because I know there's moves I'm starting to get. Starting moves. Choose a race and gain the corresponding move. So I picked dwarf. You are one with stone. When you commune, you are also granted a special version of Words of the Unspeaking as a rote which only works on stone. Okay, so I'd make a note of that on my character sheet. And then after that it says you start with these moves. So this is, the first is racial moves, because the human gets a different one. The human can choose one wizard spell. And you're granted that spell as if it was a cleric spell. So that's cool. So that was the benefit that you're missing if you play a dwarf cleric. So deity, you serve and worship some deity or power which grants you spells. Give your god a name. It gives some examples of names, but you're not limited to that because there's only like 4. And choose your deity's domain. Healing and restoration, bloody conquest, civilization, knowledge and hidden things, the downtrodden and forgotten, what lies beneath. So there's 6 there. I'll just roll a d6. I'll be number 5. The downtrodden and forgotten would be the one that would represent me. Which now makes my appearance seem a little bit more understandable. Choose one precept of your religion. Your religion preaches the sanctity of suffering and ad petition suffering. Your religion is cultish and insular. Ad petition gaining secrets. Your religion has important sacrificial rites. Ad petition offering. Your religion believes in trial by combat. Ad petition personal victory. There's 4 there, so I'll roll a d4. That's interesting. Mine believes in trial by combat. So only the right would survive the combat. So personal victory. Divine guidance. When you petition your deity according to the precept of your religion, you are granted some useful knowledge or boon related to your deity's domain. The GM will tell you what. So when doing trial by combat, I could gain information. That's pretty cool. Turn undead. When you hold your holy symbol aloft, you call on your deity for protection. Roll plus wisdom on a 7 or higher. So long as you continue to pray and brandish your holy symbol, no undead may come within reach of you. On a 10 or higher, you also momentarily daze intelligent undead and cause mindless undead to flee. Aggression breaks the effects, and they are able to act as normal. Intelligent undead may still find ways to harry you from afar. They're clever like that. So, unlike 3rd edition D&D, which is my reference point, that's the game I started playing whenever I started gaming, a cleric, a powerful enough cleric, could brandish their holy symbol and cause undead to turn to dust, but they had to be a lot weaker than the cleric. Other than that, that turn undead fits everything that I'm familiar with. So I'll make a note of the turn undead and at what bonuses I'm looking for it to do what. And a note that aggression would dispel the turn effect. Commune. When you spend uninterrupted time, an hour or so, in quiet communion with your deity, you lose any spells already granted to you, are granted new spells of your choice whose total levels don't exceed your own level +1, and none of which is higher level than your own level. Prepare all of your rotes which never count against your limit. And then, so that's how you essentially refresh your spells. Gotcha. Cast a spell. When you unleash a spell granted to you by your deity, roll plus wisdom. On a 10 or higher, the spell is successfully cast and your deity does not revoke the spell, so you can cast it again. On a 7 through 9, the spell is cast, but choose one. You draw unwelcome attention or put yourself in a spot. The GM will tell you how. Your casting distances you from your deity. Take -1 ongoing to casting a spell until the next time you commune. Or after you cast it, the spell is revoked by your deity. You cannot cast the spell again until you commune and have it granted to you. So out of all those, the last one's the one that I would probably pick the most as a player, but I'd also probably just roll on this table randomly. Go on a 1-2, this happens. A 3-4, this happens. A 5-6, this happens. Note that maintaining spells with ongoing effects will sometimes cause a penalty to your roll to cast a spell. Alignment, good, lawful, evil. So, am I good, am I lawful, or am I evil? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm evil. That's something to note. Now, even though this character's evil, I would have him play towards the good of the party. So he's there to help the party. He's there because the party are his friends, and he might be using them, but he's not looking down upon them. And unless they get between him and maybe a major goal that I would set for the character, I wouldn't have him interfere with the party at all. And when he goes after his major goal, if he betrays the party, it would A, be well planned out with me and the game master. And then B, if he did betray the party, I'd be very willing to release him as an NPC to the game master at that point and then create a new character. That way I can continue to have fun. Gear. Your load is 10 plus your strength. You carry dungeon rations, 5 uses, 1 weight, and a symbol of the divine. Describe it. It weighs 0. Choose your defense. Chainmail, shield. So you only get one or the other at the start. And I'm sure I would want to upgrade that in the future. If I'm doing it, I'd probably pick the chainmail. Choose your armament. Warhammer, mace, staff. I'm a dwarf, so I'll pick the warhammer. And it gives you the distance of the weapon. Warhammer's close, mace is close, staff is close, and two-handed. Choose one, adventuring's gear and dungeon rations, or healing potion. I'd probably pick the adventuring gear. Healing potion's not bad, I'd just probably pick the adventuring gear. Bonds. Fill in the name of your companions in at least one. Somebody has insulted my deity. I do not trust them. Somebody is a good and faithful person. I trust them implicitly. So I'd put one of the party names there with this evil character. So if you weren't playing an evil character, you can play around with this a little bit more. Blank is in constant danger. I will keep them safe. I am working on converting blank to my faith. See, I would put 3 of the party members in this, and then somebody that's insulted my deity would be somebody I'm pursuing to give reason why I'd be adventuring with the party. Maybe I'm trying to get better equipment so I could fight them. so on and so forth. And then it lists some advanced moves from levels 2 to 5. So the only thing left for the character would be to pick A, for me to write down my stats, which I didn't do, and then B, to pick spells that I would start the game with. And according to that, I get 2 spells. Here it is. So none of these are, as I'm looking at them, none of them are alignment dependent. They're just level dependent. So I'd probably take Cure Light Wounds as one of them, so I could heal an ally. And depending upon what situation that I'd be aware that we're going into, I would probably take Magic Weapon or Cause Fear. The other option is to take Bless. So, but Magic Weapon would allow me to cast it and do 1d4 points of extra damage until the spell's dismissed. While the spell's ongoing, you take a -1 to casting a spell, and it lists which spells are ongoing. And then Cause Fear would allow me to cause a nearby person to flee. So that would be useful against living, where Magic Weapon could be useful against the undead or against inanimate objects or magical beasts, because it'd increase the amount of damage we can do. And then, of course, the Cure Light Wounds allows for healing. So if I didn't pick the healing potion, that would be, I could heal myself, I could heal my allies. And that's me creating a apparently evil dwarf cleric. Let me know if this was interesting to you. Let me know if you understand how I'm playing the evil character part of that in a way that makes the game fun for everybody and not just being an asshole. Well, until we all game again, guys.